I would like everyone to take a moment to reflect on our nation's great history of innovation. Our country has seen the discovery of electricity, the invention of the airplane, the development of nuclear power. Since our nation's conception, we have been a country powered by great minds. We have been a world leader in innovation. But however, the unfortunate reality is that we are falling behind. We are facing unprecedented levels of competition to become an international standard for discovery. This decline in the American intellectual prestige is rooted in the decline in the American standard of education for our children. America has lost sight of a quality education. We have become a nation that measures its educational proficiency by standardized testing. We have become a nation centered around the teach to the test mentality. Standardized testing is integral in the deterioration of the American educational integrity, and we must push to recenter our educational goals around a quality educational experience. We have a vested interest as Americans to ensure a bright future for ourselves, and our future lies in our children. Therefore, it is critical that we ensure that they are given the highest quality education available. The American educational system is fiscally inefficient. According to a recent cross-sectional study conducted by the University of Southern California, which compared 14 of the world's major industrialized nations, including, but not limited to, Germany, the United Kingdom, China, and South Korea, the United States consistently finished in the bottom 4 in terms of average scores in both math and science in standardized college admissions testing. While many may claim that it is a lack of sufficient funding which has caused a decline in the quality of the American educational system, America topped the charts, spending nearly $8,000 per student, while number 1 Finland, scoring number 1 in both math and science, college standardized testing, spent only $5,700 per student. While America spends more than any other nation studied, we were consistently outperformed by 70% of them. In light of an educational budget already plagued by ineffective and inefficient spending, standardized testing only adds to this burden. Standardized testing is costly and detracts from more effective budgetary funding usages. According to Education Week, a prominent educational publication, over the past few years, the United States spent almost $2 billion annually on state-mandated standardized testing. Furthermore, according to StandardizedTest.org, a not-for-profit organization which assesses the effectiveness and outcomes of standardized tests, private agencies contracted to score tests often make large-scale scoring errors, which require not only rescoring, but calls into question the overall validity and reliability of the test results and is additionally extremely costly. While many may argue that in the scope of the nation's multi-billion-dollar educational budget, this is only a small portion, the thousands of dollars school districts must pay annually is often the difference between keeping and cutting other programs, such as gifted and after-school programming, which often prove to be effective and more valuable for students. Finally, what is perhaps the most critical aspect of standardized testing that plagues our nation is the fact that standardized testing detracts from the overall quality of education standards. Again, referring to StandardizedTest.org, 44% of school districts report that they have had to cut time spent on subjects such as science and social studies to focus more on subjects covered by the test, such as math and reading. Furthermore, in a study conducted by the Office of Work Life at Columbia University, they found that educators report that the yearly progression standardized testing causes them to center their curriculum around test material rather than a comprehensive educational program. Lastly, a 2013 study by the American Federation of Teachers, which conducted a nationwide poll of K-12 educators, reported that over half of these educators said that they have dedicated 20 to 40% of their in-class instructional time primarily to preparation for the test. While many may claim that the tests are in fact an accurate measure of academic proficiency, the previously mentioned Columbia University study additionally showed that when a group of students who had previously achieved scores at or above the set proficiency level on standardized testing were unable to do so when retested 3 months later. This indicates that while at the time of testing, students may have been proficient in the given subject, there was a regurgitation rather than retention educational proficiency, showing that no true educational material retention had occurred. In this way, standardized testing has effectively narrowed the curriculum available to our students and detracted from comprehensive in-class instructional and learning time. In conclusion, standardized testing not only adds to additional fiscal burden on an already fiscally inefficient American educational system, but it detracts from the overall quality of our children's education. It is our responsibility as the American people and as American voters to demand that our bureaucratic educational standards move away from teaching to the test and recenter around a true quality education for our youth. Vote to eliminate standardized testing as a measure for our nation's future. Our nation's being put to the test. Let's ensure we pass.